search for it. Every week, feeling I'm in search for it. Every week.
Good morning, everyone. You're listening to the Phil and Aman Search For podcast. I'm your host, Phil, and I'm joined today by Aman. Aman, why don't you give everyone a little hello?
Hello, everybody. Again, today we have a nice, juicy episode for you guys. Hope you guys are excited. We're excited. Let's give them to them, Phil. What do we got?
Of course. As always, we're going to start off with a what's eating you, grinding your gears, bugging you, whatever you want to call it. What is pissing you off this week? I think I'm going to go first quick.
Go for it, man.
All right. I know you like to kind of take a minute to kind of think about what's been bugging you lately because you're a very relaxed and chill guy, but something's always bugging me, so I'm gonna start here. So what's pissing me off a little bit lately is YouTube ads. I don't know if you're familiar with like what's going on right now.
I'm way too familiar with that shit.
Mm-hmm. First of all, like I support ads for like creators and stuff like that, and like I buy merch and I Patreon and stuff like that. I've got a few that I'm like YouTube channels and whatever. I'm big fans of. But right now, fucking YouTube is just like they're throwing mid-roll ads. They're fucking throwing way too many
unnecessary shit too, right?
And they're unskippable now.
Before Google had the common courtesy to spy on you and give you things that you wanted to see. Now they don't even do that. Now they give you shit that you don't want to see, man. That's like I can't even enjoy the ads a tiny bit,
Yeah, for real, man. Like fucking, I don't know, guy. Like just these whole like unskippable and like non-targeted ads and like. They're just getting way too much because like you watch like a 10-minute video like I watch like a lot of gaming and I'm pretty sure a lot of people do and like stuff for music and stuff like that and I'm getting 2 beforehand and then it's like 3 minutes into the video and then I'm getting another 2
it's crazy.
and like by the time I'm like done watching the video I've watched almost like another 2-3 minutes of ads.
And honestly, like literally a 7-minute video is literally a 10-minute video because of all the ads. And it's crazy when there's like no skip button until like fucking deep into the ad, so you've been watching it for 2 minutes before you get to skip.
Yeah, for real. And like I'll admit like like I like advertising and like I've gone to school for and like and we've touched on it and all that and I kind of want to do that for like future job like marketing and all that, but like I don't know, man. There's a point where like ads are too intrusive into our lives. Yeah. And I think like obviously like YouTube wants to make money as a platform
for sure, but
the thing that really cheeses me is that it doesn't really give its creators like you hear about them and they're like yeah like fuck ads are like great for your channel if you're you got 2 million views a video or whatever, but for these guys that are getting like 10K a view or what, you know what I mean, and most people have resorted to using ad block because of shit like this, and like
it's not comfortable
and
to
like
watch.
And YouTube doesn't even give them that big of a cut of the pie of the like the revenue from like ads anyway. So they're getting like maybe $100 for a video, and like that's pretty good for like someone who's like relatively small or medium or whatever. Yeah. But in the grand scheme of things, it's just like it's not supporting creators that much, and it's like it's just kind of pissing everyone off who uses it. So it's just like.
Most
I don't know,
definitely.
Man. I definitely think they should go back to the old system where it's just like you have one in the before and then one at the end, and they're like they both have skippable options. And like I've sat through like ads that I found interesting before too, because I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, there's this one, and it was showing like this fucking preview for a movie, and I don't even remember what it's called anymore. I guess the ad really didn't work on me, but no, and it seemed really fucking like it was like a horror movie, and it was like so weird, but also like. Intriguing, so like I sat through it because I was like, oh fuck, I'm gonna sit through this 45-second ad just to see, and that was when I could skip, and I was just like, no, I want to watch this through.
I definitely agree with you. Like I've been lately, because of quarantine, I've been watching a lot of the movie ad ones because they're for like streaming services, and like I think I might have seen the same one that you're talking about. I watched one for this movie called The Shed. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out.
No, I haven't seen it.
It's not that one?
No.
Oh, it's like... Anyway, so there's this movie called The Shed. You should check it out. It's on Shudder. It's really, really good. But yeah, that ad worked on me, though. Like, it was like a 3-minute ad. And, like, I had the option to skip it. And I'm not going to lie, I didn't skip it, Like, I had to see, I had to see what was in store. And, like, it worked because, like, later that night, like, I had to make sure I watched that movie. So, like, I guess the urgency of some of the ads does be working, but...
For real. And I think it goes too, like when you're like scrolling web pages, like I've done this before, like I search up weird shit because like I'm just like, shit, who's like I was looking up who is the brokest rapper the other day.
That's true.
Yeah, and like it was this
Who
list.
is it?
I think it's DMX.
No, really?
I think so, man. I think like his net worth is like negative 10 million.
Oh fuck. Yeah, I
'cause
guess when you
he owes,
start
like,
getting to
child
the
support
negatives, you
and,
can't
like,
really compete with that.
But yeah, so I was scrolling this list of like who the brokest rappers are, and I do this every once in a while. It's like sometimes I'll be like, oh shit, like who's like the most underpaid basketball player or like whatever.
Yeah.
And these websites that you get on, and like they're informative because it tells you, but like then they have like these ones where like you're just scrolling down the web and like a video just starts blasting, and it's like these ads that are like pop up videos, and like especially if you're just like scrolling on mobile like I do a lot.
Yeah.
It's so fucking annoying because you just like. I can't close it, or it freezes your phone,
Yeah.
and it's just blasting like this loud fucking ad. It's just like,
Yeah, the
buy
volume
Corona
is
beer or
always
some shit.
different in the ad than from what the video you're watching. It's always like 10 times higher. It's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like if you're trying to be stealthy at night or some shit, you know?
Yeah, exactly, man. You're going down for a late night snack, and you're just like scrolling,
All of
and
a
then
sudden,
boom.
damn, bro. Incognito mode's out, you know?
For real. But yeah, that's what's been bugging me lately, and I know obviously you're saying you're feeling it too. What's bugging you, buddy?
Actually not a whole lot this week. I had a pretty nice week this week. We got that
Nice.
from our viewers that listened to our last, or fucking listeners, I guess. Viewers. But fucking the people that listened last week, the desk I was talking about, I finished it this week, and it's all like, you know, up and running now. So I had a pretty good week. I was very happy.
God bless, man. I'm glad you finished that.
But yeah, other than that, man, not a whole lot's making me mad. School sucks still. I don't understand
Preach.
school.
Preach.
And it makes me mad how stupid I am sometimes, bro. Oh man, some of my notes, man, I'll be looking at them and I don't know where the problem began, man. Like, I don't know if it was on the first day of school this semester, or if it was on the second week of school, or if it was all the Zoom lectures I missed. I don't know where the problem started.
Yeah.
The notes don't make sense, bro. The questions don't make sense.
I know. Like I've been talking to a few people who are still in school. Like I just recently graduated, so I kind of experienced the beginning of all that, and like, but I know they've gotten a lot more invasive with that. Like I know like you have to install like lockdown browsers on, and like I don't like the thought of like people going on my laptop and be like, oh, you have access or restrict my, you know what I mean? Like, control what I can do on my like.
That's the craziest shit. Yeah, that's the craziest shit because it's like they're literally forcing you to like conform your like in my program I'm in like not to get too specific, but I'm in like a program that deals a lot with like IT stuff, so they tell you a lot about internet security and like security with malware and like being giving access and like all that kind of stuff. And it's nuts that the school is making you download a software that's like basically bypassing everything they taught you to be wary of and being like, no, you should just do it because the school is telling you to do it. And it's like, bro, what the fuck?
Privacy concerns for real, man.
Like, I watch fucking... I'm not going to say what I watch on my computer.
Pause, bro. Pause. But no, I 100% agree. Like, I don't know... Like, they're obviously not going to do anything. They're not going to be like, yo, what's Aman doing this week? Like, what's he doing? But, like, it's just the fact that it's just like...
It's the paranoia, man.
And, like, it's like, you have to do it, or they're like, yeah, you don't graduate, you don't get... Like, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
and it's just like, they threaten you, and it's like, it's already a hard time for everyone, and it's just... They're kind of making it extra fucking difficult and stressful for people, and it's just like, hey, lockdown browser, like... I remember when I did my one exam, and there was one prof for like, I think it was like 140 kids or some shit like that.
Damn.
All on a Zoom call. And he's like, all right, he's like, keep your webcams on. He's like, just mute yourself. And he's like, I'm going to be looking, but you can't look at 140 kids. So like, you're pretty much free to cheat. And like, not that I cheated or anything, but I did I'll be honest, my girlfriend brought me food, and I ate a burger while doing this.
Sorry.
And then so like, I had to look to the side at one point, and I'm like, yo, don't think I'm cheating, but like, my girlfriend's dropped me off. So I looked at her and I was talking to her, and then I just started like eating fries out of the bag and shit. I'm just like, fuck it, man. I'm so hungry. Cause it was a late.
Damn, you committed. You had the whole bag in the.
It was a late exam, and like I'd already had a day full of exams, so I didn't really have like time to eat or like so.
I feel you.
Yeah, like back-to-back exams. So like, I was like, shit, and then she just dropped me off food, and I was like, yeah, I'm munching. I'm like, I'm sorry. You can yell at me or whatever, but like, yeah, I don't think they even saw me, so I don't think it was a main concern for them. But yeah, man, they take this shit very seriously, and like it's struggle for everyone right now. So I just think they're going a little bit too hard, man. And like, I feel like a lot of like my bro, I don't know what this term means. Maybe our listeners do. What the fuck is a GA? A GA?
Yeah, because, like, I thought it was a TA, right? And, like, I looked on my D2L
okay.
and it said, oh, your GA, like, put you in groups and all this shit. But anyways, I don't know. I think it's supposed to be TA. I don't know what the fuck it is.
Maybe.
But this GA person in my one class that's supposed to be responsible for the kids or the students, um, she fucking sucks, man. Like, she's so bad. Like, I'll email her and I'll have a fleet of questions. Cause I'm not gonna lie to you guys, like it's hard for me to go to class and stay there. I go to class, but I don't stay there. So it's a lot like how in school was in like not in Corona and like I could go to class. I would show up for the beginning of the class, but as soon as the teacher let us have that 5 minute break where they weren't looking and going in their bag, I'd slip out the class. I'm not gonna lie to you guys.
Hey man, it's all right. We all do that, you know.
Yeah,
especially,
man.
like,
Fuck.
you guys have any like food close to you, like your classes
Oh,
and
dude,
stuff?
yo, our school is like on top of the fucking oh fuck, I don't really well fuck,
Okay,
might as well
just-
just
yeah.
yeah. Our school's on top of a mall basically, right? So you can like go down to the fucking food court from the school, and
Nice.
in on your way, there's like a Tim Hortons built into the school.
Yeah,
There's
that's
like
my
a
shit.
Starbucks like built in, like not into the school, but like very very close like to the school. So it's like either way, like there's so many options,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, I told you guys, and you know, I told you Aman last week about how I would just like routinely get coffee with my friends at school, and I definitely would. Yeah, I'd skip or like I'd take like a 20 minute. I'd be like, oh man, I'm just so fucking bored in this lecture. Like I did law for a semester, and that class is such bullshit. I could tell man mad stories.
Did you do
about
the
it.
business law one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
business,
I
and
had to do
fucking-
that one too. That one's so dumb. Like
Yeah.
litigation and like all that
fucking
kind of
insurance law and
Yeah.
yeah, like we went into it. But my prof for that one was really bad, man. He was kind of creepy old man, and some other shit happened. But
shit. Oh no.
I like routinely like I sat in the back of the class and fucking like sometimes the guy next to me who I was kind of friends with would like come and like sometimes he wouldn't or he'd be late or whatever. So sometimes I'd just be by myself and I'd be like, fuck it, 20 minute, half an hour like break. I'm just gonna go get coffee. I'm just gonna go get a sandwich or whatever. I come back and I'm like, and this guy's still talking about the same topic. He hasn't got any
no.
farther. And I'm like, bro, how the fuck did I just take all that time? And I'm like, you haven't like.
You didn't miss nothing, basically.
Yeah, you gotta move on and actually teach, you know, and like that's the thing. It's not like he was like really going in depth in a topic. He was giving these like basic ass like examples, and he'd be like, all right, so like my neighbor, he's a really good guy, and then he would like go on a tangent about like how he knew this guy and like how he made his money, and then he would get to the point, and then he'd be like, all right, so yeah, this guy, you know, a lot of money, and he'd be like, he buys a car, and he's like, and then he doesn't get insurance, and he like hits someone, and then he'd be like, you know what I mean, and like it's just like. You had to take half an hour to explain how this guy made his money just to like.
It could have been summarized with a paragraph.
Yeah. Like I swear to God, he just like to hear himself talk, and I'm one of those people too. I like to hear myself talk, but
Yeah, as we
I don't
got our
think I'm gonna be that bad.
going. Talking that shit.
Switching that though, but yeah, like lately though, I've been thinking about like my future career, and like I think it'd be cool to be a professor. I think I like you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like not
I
like
think
right
you'd be
now
good
because
in
I
that
don't have the
role.
experience or anything like. But yeah, I've been thinking about that lately. I'm
Yeah, I
like,
think you'd be mad good at that.
yeah, like late like maybe 40s or 50s or something, like when I'm kind of just like
Oh
I'm
yeah,
kinda
well
bored.
seasoned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well seasoned, got the experience. I think.
Would
I just,
you be like the brown blazer with the fucking like elbow pad things? You know what I'm
I
talking
don't know
about?
how I'm gonna dress, you know, in the next like
Pull up a
20,
little
30
pump
years,
merch?
but I'm definitely not gonna dress like a fucking professor like that now. But no,
Few face
I like to
tats.
think I'd be the cool professor. You know what I mean? I think I'd have the people who you know actually care about my class. But like, who the fuck?
Yeah,
actually
no, I
knows,
feel
man?
that. I think you would definitely be a really good caring prof for sure.
Also,
Most
they make
definitely.
hella cash, bro. So I'm trying to
Do
get
they
on that
actually?
wave. Yeah.
What's like their wage or whatever? Or
So my
their
one
salary?
for digital media, he he told us one day he's the only one that ever answered our question actually, and he was a boss. He actually worked for this school, and teaching was actually only part-time for him. But for per hour he was, what was it, like it was over $100 an hour, and he taught us for 3 hours, and he had I think one or two other classes, so yeah, it was about, you know, $600 to $900 or whatever per week.
Damn.
But his main job was actually working for the school in recruitment.
Oh shit.
So he did a lot of marketing and advertising and recruitment for the school, and he yeah, he was making over 100K just by himself, and then his wife worked too. But he always joked, he's just like, yeah, he's like me teaching is just to pay for my wife's shopping expenses and all that.
That's
he's like,
funny.
yeah,
Smart.
he's like, yeah, he's like, I mainly earn more from doing like actually working for the school instead of teaching. But like, I mean, he was knocking out two birds with one stone. He was getting double paychecks from them, and that was smart. He's also like one of the funniest teachers. He was British. He was a funny guy. He had a dry sense of humor. But yeah, he was one of the best classes, so shout out to him. But yeah, I don't know. Thinking about that a little bit lately, and I think it'd be cool. I wanna be the change in the world I want to see. You know what I mean? It starts with with you. You know?
Yeah, no, I feel that.
Yeah.
It's definitely like worth doing, and like I don't know. I feel like there's like a lot of like good that you can do if you're passionate about it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like one of those things that like, you know, being passionate about it is definitely like, I think a prerequisite. Yeah. Most definitely.
And like everyone's got something to like share, like, you know, or like teach someone else. Cause like my girlfriend was like routinely teaching me about. She's a excellent baker, fucking awesome, man. And you know, and she teaches me about that and like makeup and like other things. And like I just like to listen sometimes because I'm like, I like learning, even if it's like not pointless, but if it's like not the biggest like priority for me, but I'm just like, oh, that's cool, like, you know what I mean? It's just always cool to like continue to learn and shit like that. And like I think that's why I like cooking and stuff like that too, because like I like just making a mishmash of food, and I'll be like, all right, so I'm gonna add these spices, I'm gonna add like, you know, lemon juice, or like I'm gonna add like these flavors together, right? And I think it just like, it's one of those things where...
How often, like, what's your success rate with that? Because I find when I do that, I fuck it up most of the time.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I don't know. If I stay safe and, like, I do, like, most of the seasonings that I'm, like, used to, it's just going to taste like everything else I make. So I try and, like, go really, like, out there. And then I just fuck it up.
That's fair. I don't make, like, anything exotic. Like, I'm not here to be like, yo, I'm fucking Gordon Ramsay in this kitchen, bro. But I don't know. Like, my dad taught me to cook when I was, like, really young. Like... He would always be like, yo, hop on the barbecue with me. Or like, he'd be like, all right, yo, he's like, you're going to make this while I'm making this. And I'm just like, yeah, sure, whatever. And he really lived by that whole, like, what do we have in the fridge this week, right? And, you know, he'd be like, all right, so we got ketchup, we got fucking this. And he's just like, all right. So he's like, oh, we're going to take the ketchup, we're going to add these and like the Worcester sauce and like fucking all that. And like, and he's like, we made like a homemade barbecue sauce, and then it was like sweet and tangy. And then fucking, yeah. And then like, he's like, all right, so like we got fucking ribs, and then we're going to like add like garlic, and then fucking, you know what I mean? And, like, I just kind of learned to like throw shit in a pan, and like it kind of like worked out. He also let us do some weird shit too. Like, I don't know if you ever watched iCarly. You ever watch that show?
I watched it over growing up.
Yeah, man. Fucking, they always were doing weird shit on that show, but they had spaghetti tacos. And so the one, me and my brother were, we were like, I think I was like 11, and my brother would have been like 9, I think. Or like, no, wait, fuck, I'm dumb. He would have been 7 if I was 11. But anyways, like, yeah, we were watching that shit, and like, my dad's like, oh, what do you guys want for dinner? And we were like, yo, let's try spaghetti tacos. And he's just like, what the fuck is that? And we were like, explain to him, and like, he watched the show with us. He's like, fuck it, let's try it. So, like, yeah, we made like,
that's true.
Yeah, we got like, it was like spaghetti noodles, and then we made like a good like ass pasta sauce, and like fucking some like vegetables and shit in there, and like, yeah, and I don't know, like, man, we made spaghetti tacos. So like, you just gotta try weird shit, I guess.
Yeah. Did it taste how you expected it to taste? Like, with your little kid expectation?
It tasted like spaghetti in a taco, I'm gonna be honest. Yeah. But it was good. It was good.
Wait, did you use hard tacos or soft tacos?
So we had both, man.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we had the flour tortillas, and then the corn, the hard ones, yeah. And honestly, both were pretty good. I think I preferred the hard, just because like it gave you a little bit of that crunch with it.
Exactly. I was gonna say, eating a soft one would be kind of nasty. You'd be like squeezed in it.
Yeah. But definitely, yeah.
Using like Parmesan for cheese, like the shredded cheese on it.
Yeah, it was basically like, I guess you get like, when you get a taco bowl, you get like the hard tortilla too. So like, you know, I guess it was kind of like that, but like spaghetti.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I definitely like to kind of like get back to our original point here. I kind of like to just like learn new shit here and there and try different things. And obviously, you know, at some point you kind of just like can't learn everything, but I like to try and gain as much knowledge as I can.
Yeah, most definitely.
For sure. And I do have a little bit of a short-term memory. I've really like good long-term memory. Like I remember a lot of shit from my childhood and stuff, but like sometimes like I just zone out, or like I just kind of like like I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna do this in 5 minutes, and then I just kind of forget. I'm like, what the fuck was I supposed to do?
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. So I like to learn, basically. That was a little too much of a tangent.
I definitely feel you on enjoying like the act of learning, because I feel like no matter how old or young, or just whatever stage of your life you're in, learning's fun, man. And like that sounds like so corny saying it like that, but like you can always find something enjoyable to learn,
For real.
and like breaking it down to just like, I don't know, just like discovering something new and like all that. And like I think that sometimes like one thing I take for granted is how accessible information is, and how accessible the things I want to learn are. And like I don't always appreciate how here they are, and like how I can utilize them. So like definitely like just hearing you talk about like liking to learn like makes me like appreciate learning a lot. And like just like enjoying cracking open a book, or like just like looking at a record or something like that, or like
or even like the conversation we had right before we actually started recording. Like you were telling me like a little bit about beat making and stuff like that, and like
so there's this one plugin that I just learned, like it's like a kind of like type of. So for our listeners out there that don't know too much about music production, you can get like these things that are virtual effects, and they're called like plugins. So you can like put these plugins like on your beat, and like, or like on your like song or sound, and make it sound like crazy, basically mold the sound. So there's this like new term that I had never heard been used before for like a kind of plugin, and it's like transients and shit. So like I have like a couple like reference videos I always go back and watch when it comes to like mixing, and they're like just like the videos that like I pretty much like have been growing up with since like basically the past like 4 years or something like that. And like I went back and like I was listening to them again, and like I heard in every single one they mentioned transients. And like I just like never picked up on it before, and I never knew what it meant before. I was never looking for it before, but like I just learned about it, and now it's like at the forefront of everything I'm doing, even though it's things I'd already like learned from before in the past. And it's just like goes to show you that you can never like finish learning something,
Exactly. And like, yeah, that's the point I was getting at. Is just like I knew nothing about it, and like, and you like teaching me secondhand, after you just learned it too, and it just passes the information on.
Word.
And it's like I may never use it, but it's like now I know a little bit more about it. And like if someone ever like talks about it, if I'm ever at a party, or if someone ever like is actually like, hey man, you know a little bit about like beat making or some shit, and I'll be I can
know
bring
about them
stuff
transients, Brett.
Yeah, and it's just about being a little bit more worldly, learning and
for sure,
becoming a better person.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely certain things that like just in like conversations with you, like just like hearing because in like the past and all that, just like hearing certain things you'll say, like if I hear it again, like it's just like, oh, like I remember it, like brings up like a certain like memory or something like that from like that conversation,
Yeah. Speaking about learning, I wanna tell you about a lesson I learned as a kid.
Okay.
Actually, this came up with my brother the other day. We were talking, and I was a little scammer as a kid. I don't think that, it doesn't really fit my personality, but
Meg the Stallion type
scam, type of Cardi B up in here.
Oh,
all right.
shit.
Ooh. Yo, no legal teams. But no, as a kid I used to be a little scammer in RuneScape.
Shit.
I also got scammed as well in real life though, as a kid. And this goes back to just kind of like growing up and learning about, so like as a kid I Beyblades and Pokemon and like Yu-Gi-Oh were like the shit as kids. And I remember the one day this kid came up to me and he was like, hey man, he's like, yo, trade me your Beyblade, and he's like, tomorrow I'll bring you a gold one. I was like 5 or 6 at the time. I'm like, fuck yeah, a gold Beyblade? What the?
You thought he was gonna go home dipping in a secret supply of gold?
No, I thought he was gonna for real. I was dumb as bricks, and I thought he was gonna give me a real gold Beyblade. And I was just like, yeah, for real, man. I'm gonna be blinged out. I'm gonna be the envy of all these kids around me. And
you went
like,
to sleep thinking about it.
yeah. And so I was like, sure, here, take my fucking Beyblade,
Oh,
take my toys
no.
my parents bought me, spent real hard money on my Christmas, my birthday gifts, all that. And like, yeah, the next day I saw the kid and he's just like, oh man, he's like, I forgot it. And I kept looking for him for like the rest of the week and I couldn't find him. He kept ducking me, and I was so heartbroken, man. That kid just straight up stole my Beyblade.
Oh, that sucks, dude. There's not even a happy ending.
There's no happy ending with that. The happy ending, I guess, is that well, I learned to be a little bit more cautious with my shit.
Yeah, okay.
And I learned how to pull scams on other people.
Oh,
So
no. That's
yeah.
not a happy ending, man.
This is a happy
It
ending.
just means you weren't callous, dog.
So
What the fuck?
yeah, I was a piece of shit. No, so yeah, and, you know, if anyone doesn't know what RuneScape is, it's basically an internet game from like back in the day, and like it kind of kept evolving, but like it's back to, I guess, like its original roots now, and a lot of people stream it, including Soulja Boy, and he's pretty big in.
Wait, Soulja Boy plays that shit?
Yeah, he
No
streams
way.
RuneScape, man. Yeah, I don't watch him, but like apparently, yeah, he gets like a couple thousand viewers, and like
No way.
it's like
That's
a thing.
crazy.
But I was talking to my brother about it because like he saw like a TikTok or a video or some shit about it. Like he's like, oh shit, like Soulja Boy streams. I was like, yeah, man. Like I know he streams a lot of like RuneScape and shit like that. I was like the OG shit. And he's like, oh man. He's like, fuck RuneScape. He's like, I used to get scammed on that all the time. And I was just like, bro, I was a scammer.
You're probably the one scamming
I was
him.
a scammer, man. Cause like you could easily go and like make like a new account or like, you know, or whatever, or just pretend to be a girl online. And so I used to do that shit, man. I used to be like, oh
dude,
man,
that's
I'm
even
like,
more fucked up because you're like a little kid. Dude's probably like grown man.
Yeah.
Like talking, like thinking bad sexual shit.
No.
That's
It
fucked up.
wasn't anything sus like that. It'd just be like, you'd go into like the busiest town or whatever, and be like, oh, I'm a new level. Like,
Man,
I'm a
they're
girl.
looking
like,
for a girlfriend,
yeah,
bro.
like,
That's why
he's
they're
looking
trying
for
to
a
help you,
girlfriend.
man.
Yeah, exactly. And then they'd be like, oh, okay, I'm looking for a girlfriend. I'd be like, they'd be like, how much? And I'm like, 100K, bro, or like some shit.
Oh
And then they
shit! You'd sell the whole character and then dip.
yeah, so they'd give me money. I'd transfer it to like my other account or
No.
some shit.
That's
or, like,
mad
yeah,
smart,
like,
yo.
fucking, I'd get on like you know, my friend or some shit to go on like my other account, like my main account, and then we meet up somewhere and I'd drop it for him and he'd pick it up and then we log out and then I'd just never go on that account again. And yeah, I used to routinely do these like scams, and I know RuneScape had a lot more like the more intense scams and shit like that. And
Yeah.
like but like I was running low level scams. I was, you know,
Man, you're actually a mad smart kid for figuring that out though. Like
Yeah, man,
figuring
I
out
got so
that
much
if you're a
free shit
girl,
and, like-
it's like yeah, you can just sell your account and then dip.
yeah, and of
like,
course there's like other like young kids that were like, oh yeah, like man, I got a RuneScape girlfriend and shit like that. But like obviously I'm sure other kids thought of it too, but I took my lessons as like, man, I want free shit. I want to like and I used to fuck other kids over, man, just for
bro.
nothing, and like get scammed, idiot. But yeah, if that ever happened to me, I would have been pissed. But fuck those other kids, man.
Did you ever get like rescammed in like RuneScape? Like,
Oh no,
as, like,
because
a big
I knew
scam?
the games they were playing, man. I was playing those exact same games. If I ever
feel you.
saw someone like pull like a new scam or some shit, or like
You added to your like
I
Rolodex
did,
as
yeah, because
scams?
they'd be like, oh, like, you know, be like, someone would come up to me on my main account, they're like, oh, like, you want a girlfriend, RuneScape girlfriend? And I'd be like, fuck off, ho, I know what you're doing. I'm not giving you the money I scammed for you to scam me. Or they try something, or they'd be like, oh, well, like, follow me, like, I know, like,
Follow me. Oh
yeah,
my
no,
god.
Like, you could also like go to the wild, which was like the area where you
What
could,
the
like,
fuck, the wild?
yeah, which it was an area where you could basically like kill each other, because like in towns and shit like that, it was like there was no PvP. You just like did quests and shit like that. But if you went to the wild, like you could like face off against each other. So a common scam was like, yeah, these people would run low level accounts. They'd have a friend waiting in the wild, and they'd take these kids who were like low levels or like mid to high levels or whatever, and just weren't prepared for it, and like whatever they had on him, and then the low level character would like lead them out there and be like, oh, like come like help me do this mission or whatever, and then their friend would be winning and they kill this guy and they take whatever loot, and it didn't matter if the low level character died, because like they were just gonna make a new one to scam people again. And like you could also really like be
That's
revived, I think,
fucked up.
but like yeah, and then they just like split whatever, man. So like I never did that one. That was a little, but like I had that people would ask me, they'd be like, yo, come to the wild with me, like bring money and like, like let's go get this gem, or like let's go kill people in the wild. I'd be like, you're fucking trying to scam, you bitch, you're trying to scam a scammer.
That was so fucked up as a little kid playing that, and then like you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go get this gem, and this guy just takes you to the wild and fucking kills you and takes all your money.
Yeah,
damn, bro, that's a hard lesson to learn.
I was
as
a little scammer, and I learned. I never actually pulled like real life scams though, because like I felt like I personally always just feel too bad to like to see that like
the real life
something.
implications
so
of it. Yeah.
Like it's different if like I'm fucking over like a mega like corporation, because fuck those guys. But like I would never like I can never like people who go on like Facebook like marketplace or some shit, and they'd be like, oh like I'll give you $25 for this $500 item, and they're trying to like, or whatever. It's just like I can never do it in person as a kid or like now or anything, because it's just like it's not my personality. I'd feel too bad, and just like you never know how else anyone has it. But like video games, yeah, fuck it, scam, bro.
Yeah, man. I mean, the other fucking like month I got scammed for like I almost got scammed for some like gear that I was trying to go buy, and like I was gonna go like pick up this amp. This guy was selling like this like. It was an amp I'd never heard about, and like I should have taken this as a sign, because like I hit up Google and I never saw, like I don't know a whole lot about amps, because it's like a world I'm just getting into. And like I know like enough about like bass level stuff, and like I know like a little bit more than like the average person, but I don't know everything, right? So like there's like definitely like things I haven't seen before. So I thought this was like one of those things, and like so it was an amp I'd never seen before, and like basically a bunch of like pedals that were like they're all kind of like different shapes, but they're like spray painted clearly, and they just had like knobs on them. And it was just like a weird like little funky looking set. So I thought I was like, okay, this guy's like a dude that like mod stuff and like maybe has like something like custom or whatever in stock. So like I'm like hitting him up to like come check these out, because he had them listed for like about like for the entire set it was like a decent price of like $250, which isn't like too bad. So I was like gonna go check him out, see, I'm gonna lowball him, not gonna lie. I'm gonna offer him 200. But I was gonna go check him out, and like thank God I asked for like this has been something that I've been like starting to do with like weird looking gear and like stuff that looks customized, is like asking for a video just so you can like see it turn on before you go waste your time with it, because
that's smart.
Because like they'll literally ask you like, yo, meet me at a park, no outlets anywhere, and like, man, I'm smart, bro. I got a little like outlet pack, but it doesn't always like work, right? Because like sometimes the plug won't fit the fucking thing for some like dumbass reason or whatever, right? And there's like all these other things, like it could be raining outside, right? You don't want to get the gear fucked up, so like they'll literally pull scams like that. So I asked him for a video, and I was like, yo, can you like show me the inside of it, because like I don't know what these pedals are, and like I can't find them on Google. And then like he like ghosted me for a while, and then he like shot this like grainy ass video, and I was just like, nah, I'm not doing this. Yourself, like he was gonna like keep like giving me like little pieces and like keep trying to bait me. I was like I can't go any further with this. I was disappointed though, because I was like, I wanted those pedals, man, but it was like it still didn't process to me it was a scam, man. I was like, fuck.
You're like, shit, should I risk it? And it's like, it's not.
It's like, it's a scam though. It's like, fuck, man. Well, it's like
on the reverse side, man, fucking I sold some shit on the marketplace. It was like old video games and like some magic cards and shit like that or whatever, right? And it nothing like amazing or anything, nothing like worth money. I think I made like $50 or some shit like that. But this guy told me, he's like, hey yo, he's like, I was at school at the time, and I like had them on me because I was like planning to go like right after school to sell them, and I was like, whoever like contacts me this day or whatever, I was gonna sell them. So I left them in my locker. I was like, if they don't sell today, I'll like sell them, whatever. But I was like, so I was at school and put them up on there, and this guy messaged me. He's like, yo, he's like, I'll give you like $50 right now for all of it. And I was like, fuck it, let's go.
Damn, that's gonna be sweet as a kid in high school. And you're like, yeah, fuck yeah.
No, bro, this was last year.
This was
last year.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. Fucking.
Damn, you had a locker last year? That's pretty fucking baller, bro.
Yeah, we had to pay $5 for one. Sucks. Yeah, I don't think you could opt out of it, or maybe you could, but like, I just was like, fuck it. So I just chose one because I had there was like A wing, and I was like 90% of my classes were in A wing, so I just picked one there, and I just like would throw my shit in it, whatever I didn't need. Like, oh, here's my jacket, here's my fucking.
That would be super useful. Throw your jacket in there.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, but yeah. So this guy messaged me. He's like, "Yo, $50 for all that shit." I was like, "Yep, minty, whatever." He's like, come meet me at my place. And I was like, yeah. I was like, sure. I was like, I gotta get done school. And he's like, yeah, I gotta get done work. I was like, Minty, I'll fucking meet you there. So I pull up, and it's in this really fucking like weird location. Like he lived in an apartment building. There was like a really nice one, and then like he lived in a really shitty one, like right across from it. And like the area was kind of weird because it was like kind of nice but also kind of shitty. I was like, man, whatever. I don't judge people or whatever.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
but so I messaged a guy.
Just
I'm like,
to do
yo,
all
I'm
the
down
people.
at like, yeah. I was like, I don't know what floor you live in. I was like, I'm here, and I was like, I'm in the lobby. And he's like, okay. He's like, come on up. And I was like, what the fuck?
Come on up.
Yeah, I'm like, where?
Oh, to where?
Like, yeah. So anyways, fucking
Come on up to the roof.
Yeah, so like I messaged him, but he like it wasn't answering messages, and then he calls me like 5 minutes later after I'm waiting for this guy. He's like, are you coming? And I was like, where, dude? Where? He's like, he's like, fourth floor, blah blah whatever. And so I meet him up there. I'm thinking he's just gonna like hand me money at the door or whatever. No, he's like, why don't you come in for a second? I'm like, oh shit. And like he had his wife and a kid there, so like I wasn't too sketched out. It wasn't like I was trying to be like baited into like, you know, someplace. So like,
man, maybe the kid's got the gun, bro.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, so I was like, whatever. And like I was taller than this dude too. Like he was really short. He was like probably like 5'5", so like, and like a kind of a skinny guy. So I was like, I definitely could take him.
Yeah.
So I wasn't too worried. But
man, short dudes always have weapons though. Short dudes always have something.
I'm here acting like, oh yeah, bro, I'm 6 foot, I'm a fucking beast. I'll take I've never been in a fight before. Don't take this seriously. But no, so yeah, he invited me in, and he's like, oh, come to my office. And I'm coming to the office, and it's like decked out in like you know, video games and like gear and like cards and shit. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, oh, have a seat. And I'm like, okay, cool. So we're like talking and all that, and I'm trying to make this fast because I'm trying to go home because it's late. I've been in school all day. I'm trying to go home and eat and like fucking chill and all that. And he's like talking to me, and like I didn't want to be rude because like I'm not really a rude person. So like, yeah, he's just like going on about shit, and I'm talking to him, and then he's like, man, you know, he's like, I don't know if I really want to pay full price for it, like, and he like holds up whatever I forget if it's a game or a card or whatever. He's like, I don't know, man, I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know if I'm really gonna play this. And I was like, okay. So I was like, don't buy it. And he's like, I'll put it aside or whatever. And he's like, he keeps talking to me. And then he's like, oh, so like, what do you do in school? He's like, you mentioned you were in school. And I told him and all that. He's like, oh, okay. He's like, I'm in like insurance sales and all that. I was like, oh, cool. And then, dude, he starts fucking trying to like offer me a job, but it's not like an actual job. It's a fucking pyramid scheme.
Oh, this dumbass.
And I could tell as soon as he started, I'm like, please don't.
Yeah, no.
And
it's always kind of jokes when that happens because it's like their soul is sold, so they're just trying to sell other people's souls to the bigger like devil.
Yeah, and so he's just like, yeah, man. He's like, oh, you know, you don't even really need college. He's like, yeah, I know. He's like, I know you got the experience. He's like, I know you're the type of guy. He's like, I want you on my team. He's just like, oh yeah. He's like, we got an office and like, you know, here and then like half an hour away. And he's like, you can work at whatever one. He's just like, he's like, you'd be my personal assistant basically to start. But he's just like, once you learn the role, and he's just like, he's like, yeah. He's like, you can go and start like making your own like, and like I'm just really sitting there and I'm like, oh yeah, maybe, man. Like I just really want to finish school. Like trying to be polite about this because I'm still trying to get my money because this guy's still holding my shit. He hasn't given me money. I'm in his sketchy ass like apartment and like I have no idea what the fuck's gonna like, you know, like, gonna happen and shit. And like I'm just like, please give me my money or give me my shit back because I'm trying to leave. And like he just kept going on about it. I was trying to be so polite just to kind of like keep it like, yeah, man, like, oh yeah, like I'm really trying to and all that. And he's just like, oh man, he's like, he's like, we're the like the number 6 on like the trading stock or whatever. And like I googled it after because I'm like, there's no fucking way. And I'm like, and it's like the first thing they teach you is to like say that selling point to try and like trick people into like whatever. And I think it's partly true because it like the person who owns like the pyramid scheme or whatever like owns like another company and technically it's like under that or whatever or some shit. It's like some legal bullshit like that. So like yeah, man, like I googled it at the time and there's like I knew it was 100% like and so anyways, I got done there and I fucking was so pissed off and I messaged all like my other like school friends that like I was like, yep, I was like, this is what they warn us about in our program, fucking people trying to like recruit us into pyramid schemes, so like thinking it's like sales and like advertise and like and all this shit and no, it's like yeah, and they were like, which fucking one was it? And I was like, it's this bullshit. And like you think most of the time like pyramid schemes are like, oh, like hair products or like you know, and like all that shit
like
and
knives.
Yeah, shit like that. But yeah, this guy was trying to loot me in on the insurance sales fucking. I was just like, yeah, no fucking way, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
sometimes like when you go like, cause I've been in that position where I go to buy something off of somebody. I've never like sold anything and then like had to go there.
Yeah.
Like I've thankfully like if I'm selling something, they usually come here and then I'm pretty quick with it and like get it over with. But like there's this one time where I went to go to fucking yeah, we can mention like cities and all that, right?
Yeah.
Brampton, and like there was this like guy that was selling this like old school WWF wrestling chair, and like it was like sweet, bro, like super super nice condition. And I went in there and I was just like not trying to go inside his house. Like I was just like, yo, can we like meet outside? Or like I made this like pretty like clear, because like I've bought like things off of like some wrestling fans before, and like I am a wrestling fan, so I am kind of like in that like culture, and like I know there's like some cool wrestling fans, but there's also some wrestling fans that are like a little bit crazy, and like I just had a feeling my man was a little bit
too
crazy.
into it?
Yeah, so I was just trying to meet outside, and long story short, he was just like, oh no, I have it inside, it's all wrapped up and all that kind of shit, and he was like still trying to get me to come inside. I ended up just like never like seeing the chair and just dipping. It was a sick deal on the chair, but like to this day, like I don't know if the chair was real or like I don't know.
You
like,
just got this bad juju, man.
Yeah, well, dude, like the fucking energy I got off that, yo, like my mom like always told me when I was growing up, like if you like get that feeling about like another
trust
like
your instinct, bro.
human, like you're not supposed to like have that feeling about another human.
Yeah,
like, that's
like
like
you never
not
walk
something
into
that you
somewhere
have.
and you're like, shit, man, this guy's creepy, but he's cool. Like
Yeah.
you just like you get intensely creepy
Yeah.
and you're like, something is not okay with the
Yeah,
situation.
like you can have that like looking at an animal or some shit like behind a cage or something, but you're not supposed to have that when you're standing in front of somebody,
Yeah,
right? So
bro.
like,
Human
I got that
instinct.
shit and I was just like, look, like I have to like I made it, dude, this is so jokes, because like I look a little bit older than I actually am. So like I was just like, yo, look, I have to go pick up my daughter, so I'm gonna cut.
Smart.
And like and then like it's just like you can't argue with me on that shit, because then I
Yeah.
would have like got defensive. I would have like I
Be
had so
like-
many outs on that shit, but like it's just like, yeah, I gotta go get my daughter, I'm out. And then like yeah, but like still, man, that shit like
Yeah,
kind of
real
freaks me
real
out.
quick, he
thinking
does
about
not have a daughter, so
yeah,
like,
I do not have a daughter. Yeah. I do not yet. Well, I don't. Yeah, I don't.
No, but yeah, definitely, man. But it gets extra crazy just because fucking I think these like in-person meetup, like if you're selling through eBay, it's not too big of a deal because you can just ship that shit.
Yeah, of course.
People can scam on eBay, like that's a whole other.
Oh,
ordeal.
bro, I've been scammed on eBay many times.
Yeah, but like in person, you like with this Facebook Marketplace, you don't really have an option not to like meet in person.
That's where it gets crazy, and like the fact that like you can like delete ads in a sense with them almost being untraceable, and like not untraceable in the sense that you can't pull them back up, but it's just like. Yeah, you can get rid of the ad. You know?
You put one up and someone like, it's like, oh yeah, like I'll like definitely like come get this or whatever.
Yeah,
and
you
they
just take
delete
it
the
down.
ad and it's like, message me or whatever, and then you know what I mean.
Work out your plan through there. Have a completely different meeting location than what was in the ad, and then like, it's just like some channels on YouTube like do these like creepy pasta type videos, but they're like actual like the real like stories and shit like that. And like they have like the news articles and all that kind of shit, and you can like kind of fact check them, and like it's nuts how many stories happen like that where it's like somebody going to go buy something, or they're just going like they're trusting somebody, like they're going there, like so many things can go wrong if you're going to go buy something. Like you have money on you that like the person knows, and like it's a little bit easier nowadays. Like I bought a pedal yesterday like in London, and I e-transferred the guy like when I went there. Like I met him at a McDonald's, and like my sister was there. I met him out in front of the McDonald's. It was like a super like 1-2 transaction. Like I was just like, we talked about music for a bit outside, but like it like we were in a public place and all that, so it was like super like easy. But like if you're going to go buy something, man, don't go to somebody's house.
Yeah. And
like don't there's all these other ways that they can get it to you, and like you don't need it that bad, man. Like if it's like if you have to put your safety at risk in order to obtain it, like you really don't need it that bad, you know?
All right, but yeah, I want to transition here real quick, and then just like, I was telling you last week how I get like on some random weird like YouTube shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so I came up on to some tennis drama. Do you want to know about some tennis drama?
Yeah, man. I'm a bit of a tennis mark.
I don't know too much on it, but like I watched like a little 5-6 minute video. But apparently in tennis, blue clay courts. So you know how like most courts are like grass or like they're like the brown like dirt or clay or whatever.
Yeah, orange and shit.
Yeah. Blue is apparently a banned color. It's very superstitious in the community, and people fucking hate it.
Really?
Yeah, so I was watching this video, and it's basically, there's nothing wrong with actual blue clay, like it's
Yeah.
just, dyed clay or whatever. But I guess they played at one tournament, and a bunch of pros came out and said they fucking hated it because there was like improper installation, and then there was some bad weather for like the few days, and because it's outdoors or whatever, and so like the moisture and like the it all fucked up the court or whatever, and so they played this tournament on it, and it basically fucked up like everything. And like the tennis pros, like I'm not really big into tennis, so I don't really like know the pros names, but like apparently a few people came out and they were like, yo, basically fuck blue courts, we'll never like play on them again if you ever want us to play like in your like tournaments and shit like that. And so there's like a big whole like superstition in like the tennis communities that you don't play on a blue court at all.
Fucked.
Yeah,
That's
so,
actually crazy. I like my dad's like a big like Roger Federer like mark, so like he's like watched like a bunch, like I've seen like a bunch of his matches and all that.
Yeah.
And like I swear I've seen him on, it might have been like, I swear I've seen him on like blue clay before, but I never knew that, cuz like it is pretty like it's not that common of a color when you do watch like the new tournaments. It's usually a grass court, or like they play like a lot of orange clay a lot. That's crazy though that the whole thing is fucking banned.
Yeah.
Do you think a lot of it though was just like the tennis players at the time, because of that? You mentioned things like installation issues and like weather being a problem because it was clay and like it was raining and all that. It like fucked up the moisture. Do you think it was just like that bad experience grouped with like maybe the shitty attitude of like just like the general atmosphere of like how it's like the tournament sucked, like contributed to like that not being? But if they maybe tried it in a better environment, like
100%. Like if they were to probably do it again, like I don't know fuck all about tennis, but I'm sure if they did it again, there'd probably be a lot of different results, because I think the theory behind it is that it's the green ball on the blue court, so it really stands out for viewers and also players and all that. Which totally makes a lot of fucking sense to me. But like googling here, happened in 2012. And there's this one article from 2006 from the New York Times. It's even 4 years later, bad feelings linger over the blue clay in Madrid. And I'm just
so there's a new blue clay court like now?
No, I don't know now. Like, but this is this is back in like 2012.
Oh wait, so the original one was in Madrid then?
Yeah.
Okay, I just misheard what you said.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty sure like to this day they still don't do, which is like it's fucking like 8 years later, but it's still I guess like a super, and you can Google it like blue clay, and like it comes up with like all these articles and like interviews with like all these pros and stuff like that. And basically they just they got really up into it and fucking were pissed off about it. But I'm sure they did it again and like tried the experiment again. But the thing is like at these points where these pros are like, you ever like make me play on blue clay again, I'm gonna fucking quit. Or like, so you can't really run
it's not deep, eh? They're like threatening to end the career, man.
You can't run it back because these pros have come out and they're all like,
they won't even try it, right?
They're like, we will never do that again. So they had one bad experience and they won't ever, you know what I mean? And like I said, apparently, if this shit's right and like actually have someone who's knowledgeable and about like actually building a court and all that. So like it could have been any color, like it could have been red that they fucked up, or it could have been the natural fucking brown or like whatever. It just like whoever installed it or created it like fucked up installing it, and then the bad weather on top of it kind of just fucked it all over. So yeah, man, I don't know. Like I just got down that rabbit hole on YouTube about fucking these weird tennis vibes and how people are pissed off about them. And like I said last week, I was getting these weird like random YouTube rabbit holes, and I just kind of end up following them, and then I just get all these weird recommendations all the time.
Lately I've been like using the YouTube app has like these like stories almost under the videos, but they're like not really like stories. They'll be like, they're
kind of like Instagram stories almost, or like TikToks kind of like.
They're mainly like TikToks, like a lot of TikTok reposts and like a lot of like just like videos that already exist on the platform that have been like kind of repackaged for this way. Like a lot of videos are like from 7 years ago, 5 years ago, and it's just such like a sick way to see like videos and like quickly scroll through them. Like I don't know, you just find like a bunch of funny shit. Like I found one the other day. I was showing my girlfriend that this dude spilled a bunch of like lean on the ground, and he was trying to pick it up with his hands and put it back in the bottle, and it was just like, what the fuck? And like, oh my god, like I would have never found that like on my regular searches, because like why would I like look that up, you know? And like I'm definitely not a person that uses like social media anymore. Like I only really use like YouTube and like that kind of stuff. Like I don't use Instagram or any of that. So this is like kind of like my way of like seeing it, man. Like YouTube's been coming in clutch, man. Like it's definitely a very enjoyable app that I don't mind wasting time on.
Yeah, like I know you kind of bitched about it before, but it's because it's such a great platform for like creativity. And they just have a history of fucking over all of their users from like, I don't know if you ever got into it, but there's that whole animators drama.
Yeah.
Because people used to run like little like 4 minute or whatever animations, and they kind of made it so that unless your video is like 10 minutes long, you don't really get ad revenue.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, so like that
all
was
this
a huge
nuts
thing.
criteria, you can't like they're basically censoring things you can say in the video.
Yeah,
they're censoring like topics you can talk about.
Even like big name like like I'm not really into the world, but like this one guy I kind of watch. He does like I don't even know how to explain him, but like he's this 5'6" dude. His name is Charlie. He goes by Moist Critical. Like I don't know if you've ever seen him, but like he just used to make videos of making fun of like everything. Like, you know the ShamWow commercials?
Yeah.
He would make fun of those, and he'd just be like, "Man," he's like, "you have to have big balls to fucking use a ShamWow," and he would just like make fun of the commercials and shit. But now he does a lot more like I guess like drama and like
the news and all that.
Yeah, like stuff like news stories and stuff. Like he still has like interesting pieces and all that, but like anyways, he recently had a thing where one of his videos was removed, and like this YouTuber Markiplier, which is like an old like Minecraft YouTuber. I don't know if you ever watched him. But yeah, they both had videos removed because it mentioned like an old fake like prank or whatever, something like that.
Shit.
And YouTube removed it, and like so he pointed it out. I was like, oh, like why wasn't this other video removed? And then they removed that, and then like and then they kept like bitching about it and like on Twitter and shit like that. And then like YouTube came back and were like, yeah, we kind of fucked up. And they're like, yeah, we should never remove that, even though like they went through like automated processes, and like the automated process each time was like, nope, it's like the content strike, and like and you only get 3 for a YouTube channel and all that, right? So but you can basically claim anything as like yours, or like a content strike on like another, like, and it's a lot to fight. But like it's crazy that even like these big YouTubers don't have like a lot of protection. I guess they do because they ended up getting it kind of removed, but it took them so much like shit flinging, I guess, to kind of for YouTube to own up. For YouTube to own up that they kind of had fucked up, man.
YouTube doesn't own up often when they fuck up either.
No, not at all, man.
You know, and like there's a lot of like content creators that I've been fans of pre like this like whole, cause like when did like the ad thing start? Wasn't it with like PewDiePie and that whole like Fiverr video where he paid those guys to like put that like Nazi thing on the paper? Do you remember what I'm talking about? That was like the thing that like sparked this thing. Because then a bunch of companies pulled out. There was a Coca-Cola ad on that video, and like people were screenshotting it, and like that was like the thing that like started it though. Like I remember,
like I know he's had a lot of controversies and shit like that, but like I don't really kept up with him at all. But
so for those like that are kind of interested in what like we're talking about, basically there's this YouTuber named PewDiePie, and he had this video where he was using this website called Fiverr, where you can kind of pay like like not necessarily $5, but like a low amount of money to get people to like do things like create graphics, make songs, like whatever you want.
Prices and for like artistic medias and stuff like that.
You're just paying for people's services. So this guy like wanted to make this funny video to see how far I guess he could take certain things on Fiverr or whatever. Like I don't know why he put this, to be honest, but he like wrote some really fucked up thing about, I don't know exactly what he wrote, and I'm not really interested in what he wrote.
But it was fucked up.
But it was fucked up and unnecessary and anti-Semitic, targeted towards Jewish people. I'm pretty sure that was what it was, something along those lines. And he had these like Indian guys from the other side of the world that obviously don't know what's going on. They're just trying to make some money, like basically dancing around, holding up these signs. Super fucked up look as a brown man. Super fucked up look, and like pisses me off to my core to see a white person paying to fucking do that. But like it's neither here nor there. Guy's a piece of shit. Anyway, so he started this whole like revolution. A bunch of people are losing their fucking money. A bunch of people are losing their ad opportunities. Because on that video, there was like Coca-Cola ads. All these companies saw this video and were like, why the fuck are we advertising on this? Rightfully so. And as shitty as it is that there's all these creators losing money because of this situation, I do have to like kind of respect that these companies are like, we're not going to stand for this. Like,
for sure.
This is like, clearly PewDiePie was not the only person doing stuff like this. There's other videos that are like this where they're getting money and they're getting advertised
real
on.
Quick, like there was that I don't know if you ever heard it, but it was like Father of Five or Daddy of Five or whatever.
Yeah, like, Daddy of Five, that motherfucker.
There's like a whole bunch, and my girlfriend's told me about it too. But like, there's all these they're technically like blogging or whatever. But like, there's all these like family related ones, or it doesn't even have to be family related.
Straight up child abuse on camera, bro.
Like, basically child abuse, and like so the Daddy of Five one was like, yeah, he basically would like berate his kids or like verbally abuse them, sometimes physically, or like break their toys and shit like that. And then he would record it secretly, and then he would like upload it to YouTube for his, like people to watch, and it was like the newest outrage. And my girlfriend also told me about this one about this family who adopted was a kid from China, and he had, I think, Down syndrome.
Damn.
And they were made aware that like very early on, they're like by the way, he has, like, you know what I mean? And they're like, no, like we have the money, we want to take care of him, we want to give him like a better life. And like they tricked this adoption agency into letting like having him. And then he was growing up, and he was he's still like a he was young, I want to say like below 6 or something like that, and was growing up to like, you know, call him like his parents and all that. And basically they basically just gave him like backup for adoption, or like, we can't handle it. After making like a whole series of like, oh, this is our adoption process, we're gonna film everything.
That's
so they basically exploited the adoption of this child. And we're like, oh, like we weren't aware of how severe like his, like, I think it was Down syndrome was and all that. And like it was like, no, you were made. And like a bunch of people like came out against them, and I'm pretty sure they had like a lot of their shit removed and all that. But it's just like there's a lot of scum on there who were making money, and I can understand why advertisers were kind of like sketchy about it. But it's like, it's kind of like you can't really punish the whole for the few, you know what I mean, the shitty few.
So but at the same time though, to play devil's advocate, like I feel like there's been a change in the community since that point. Like since the ads have been pulled out, you're seeing a lot more people with pages that the fans have to directly support, you know, things like Patreons and such, private websites, private content, all that kind of stuff.
It definitely has kind of like, I think Patreon definitely is like going back onto like our whole first segment, but I definitely support Patreon for a couple YouTubers I like, and it's definitely well versed, because like you can donate, like you can set up however, whatever tiers or whatever, you can have like $1, you can have $3 or whatever. And so for the one I'm like at the $3 range or whatever, and I get like their videos like a couple days early, and like their podcast early, and like discussion posts, and like content, first like when they were doing like their whole once a year convention and live podcast and all that, like you got like first access to like tickets and stuff like that. So it's definitely good for that, but I don't know, as a whole. No,
I feel that. Definitely like one of the things that I've kind of seen change in the community has been accountability. And like people are taking accountability a lot more for their actions in the past, and people are holding other people accountable a lot more for their actions in the past. That's just the general state and the climate of the internet right now, is cancel culture and all that. I don't agree with cancel culture, but I do agree with holding people accountable
for sure
for like certain things. And like, you know, there's a couple like really good social commentators out there. Like there's this guy named D'Angelo Wallace, who I'm sure a lot of people know about at this point, but he's really good. He covers a lot of things. But yeah, I think that change has kind of indirectly been because of things like the ad like strikes and all that, and like how there's like no real money coming in because of these fuck ups that like these top people who had this responsibility and had this platform and had this voice, they took it and straight up abused it and fucking used it poorly and used it in a disgusting ass fucking way that like still has lasting implications, you know?
Yeah, of course, man. Switching gears now, though, we're going to go for a little bit of a review as we're kind of winding down here for our time. We're going to leave you with a review real quick. I want to take a few minutes here and review The Goldbergs, which is a TV
Okay.
show. It's started in 2013, and it's got 8 seasons. Now, it is a comedy, sitcom. And I was actually just exposed to it just the other day. My girlfriend has been binging a lot of TV during quarantine. And she has been going through so many different shows, and she ended up finding The Goldbergs, and she was watching it, and she binged the shit out of it, and she's like, it's funny. So we were over at her house the other day, and she threw it on in the background, and I was just kind of there on my phone, and I just like looked up, and I was watching it for a little, like, couple minutes. It was funny as shit, and I just kind of laughed, and I was like, okay. It's about this kid. His name is Adam F. Goldberg, and you have to remember the F because there's another kid in his school who has a different middle name, and like he gets really pissed off, I guess, when like they get mixed up. But yeah, it's like a Jewish family, I think, in like the I want to say like 80s ish.
Oh shit. Okay.
And yeah, and just like it's this guy, and he created it, and he actually has like tapes of like his family in the time from when, because he had like a video camera and he was recording a lot of like his family's life and moments and all that. So a lot of the show is based on like it's exaggerated a bit,
Based on some real stuff.
but yeah, it's based on some like real stories. Like the other one I was watching the other day, which is, I think it was like season 6 or 5 or some shit. So it's kind of like late. So I definitely gotta like restart and watch from the beginning. But they were talking about the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah.
And I was a kid, he didn't really like sports or whatever.
Yeah.
But his brother got sick, and so like his dad took him to the game that he was supposed to take his older brother to.
Yeah.
And he ended up loving the Globetrotters, and then so they get into like they get in a competition because he's just like, his older brother's like, sports is my thing, and he's like, you can't like sports, you have movies and nerd shit and Star Wars and all that. He's like, we each are like our own defined person, like you can't move in on sports. And their dad's like, it's cool if you both like sports or whatever. So then they form their own like Globetrotter type team. And they go up to the actual basketball team. They're like, who's funnier? You pick right now. And then like they do the shit, like, you know, they get their pants pulled down, and like you know, they dribble in a circle or whatever, and the whole basketball team's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, we're trying to actually play basketball here. And they're like, you're just taking up the court. And they're like, okay, they're like, pick who's funnier. And they're like, all right, the older brother, since he obviously needs a win here, like his ego's hurt.
Yeah.
And then it kind of like ends with them reconciling and be like, oh, like well, like sports is one thing we can share and all that. And then it goes to after and all that, and like they were like, oh yeah, like, you know, and from there on, like me and my brother like love sports together, and like basketball and whatever.
That's it.
But yeah, and I watched a couple other episodes, like there's one about like the older brother, like he gets into Penn State, and like, and then the older sister gets in there too, and then they're like, we can't go to the same college, like we're supposed to, like, you know, find ourselves, and like, you know, I'm gonna see you all over campus. And she's like, there's 10,000 people at Penn State, we'll never fucking see each other. And like but it just goes through like each episode, and it really references a lot back to like the early, you know, like 80s and shit like that, because like, and obviously I wasn't alive for it, but it's funny to see, because like they're talking about, especially after like the success of Star Wars, like George Lucas's like other movies, like the one kid, he goes to see it with his friend, and they're like, wow, that was really a movie. And they're like, yeah, people will talk about that one. And it's just like, you look it up and the movie's fucking like terrible or whatever. And like, besides Star Wars, George Lucas doesn't really have much to go off of. And like, but like you see it throughout these episodes where they just really get hyped for like all these like nostalgic pieces, and you're just like, damn, like being alive in the 80s, yeah, like I could definitely see like them, like why they would have been excited before they had the you know, the know about to like that basically that the movies were gonna be shit. Like, but yeah, it's really cool to see like them do like this fictional comedy that's like set in the 80s, and but like based on this dude's life. It's really funny. I'm definitely going back to watch it from the beginning, because it's definitely worth it. I actually I'd seen part of an episode back in high school, because like our teacher, the one day she threw on like random episodes because we were having like a chill day. It was like towards the end of the year, and I don't really remember paying much attention to it, because I kind of just fucking around playing games with my friends and shit. But it's definitely funny. Every time I've seen it, it's been enjoyable. So that's my review for the week. Definitely an A+ there. Go watch it.
I see you. I've definitely been watching the old school, you know, Halloween specials, you know, getting geared up. I just watched this really sick one you can find on YouTube. It's a Disney one. from DTV. I guess that was like their channel back in the day, Disney TV. But it's a really cool one. You know, it's a lot of like quirky, fun stuff. A lot of like really joke scenes in it.
What movie is this? Sorry.
It's just DTV,
Oh, it's just called
Disney
DTV?
Halloween special.
Oh, okay,
It's on
okay.
YouTube. If you have Disney Plus though, I would definitely recommend checking out the shorts. You know, they have a really cool what's the kids' names? The Donald Duck's kids, like the three little ducks. Fucking.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
Dewey, Huey, and Louie.
Yeah, those.
I think they're his nephews, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he is his nephews. Weird. Anyways, they have like this one with like this witch. That one was really good. It's only like 9 minutes. There's a bunch of shorts on that.
Okay.
I've been checking out. But yeah, man. Just been watching a lot of
Nice.
Halloween cartoons.
For real. Yeah, we'll get a little bit into Halloween next week because
Hell yeah.
it's gonna be a Halloween episode.
Special episode lined up for you guys.
I definitely want to talk a lot more about Halloween next week, about our past with different costumes, Halloween party stories. I got some funny stories about being scared as fuck as a kid, but yeah, that's next week's podcast. Thank you for listening to this one, guys. Make sure to click on all our links and make sure to give all our social medias a follow. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Filling On and Search For. We'll see you next week, guys.
See you guys next week.